Hello, I'm Anand Gopalakrishnan and welcome to another video of Maths with Anand. Today, we'll be talking about trigonometry. Now, I know it sounds like a super high level and fancy subject, but you'll soon see that the concepts that underlie trigonometry are very easy to understand. So without further ado, let's get started. So what is trigonometry anyway? Trigonometry is a branch of mathematics which studies the relationships between the side lengths and angles of triangles. We'll be focusing on right triangles for this video. Trigonometry is based upon the ratios of the sides of right triangles. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's get some terminology out of the way. In trigonometry, we're interested in one of the two acute angles of the triangle. Let's choose this one. We usually denote this angle with the Greek letter theta. We already know that the longest side of a right triangle is called the hypotenuse. The side opposite the angle theta is called the opposite side. And the side adjacent to the angle theta is called the adjacent side. We have a total of 6 different trigonometric ratios. They're as follows: sine, cosine, tangent, cosecant, secant, and cotangent. Let's start with sine. So the sine of our angle theta equals the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse. Next, the cosine of our angle theta equals the adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse. Finally, the tangent of our angle theta equals the opposite side divided by the adjacent side. Okay, we've taken a look at the first 3 trigonometric ratios, but some of you might be asking, what about the other 3? Well, have a look at this. As you can see, the cosecant, secant, and cotangent are just the reciprocals of sine, cosine, and tangent respectively. So we only have to remember the first 3. That's pretty easy, right? Well, if you're having a hard time remembering which trig function goes with which ratio, there's a great acronym to remember the first 3. It's Sohcahtoa, and here's the breakdown. So, sine equals opposite over hypotenuse, cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse, and toa, tangent, equals opposite over adjacent. So let's do some problems. Let's say we know that this side length is 5 centimeters and this angle is 30 degrees. And let's say we want to find the hypotenuse. Can we do it? Well, sure, if we apply some trigonometry. Observe, we have the opposite side and we want to find the hypotenuse. So which trigonometric ratio do we use? That's right, let's use sine. So plugging in our values, we get this: sine 30 degrees equals 5 divided by the hypotenuse h. And we can rearrange this to find the hypotenuse. Now if we plug this into a calculator, you'll find that h equals 10 centimeters. Well, the regular trigonometric ratios are useful for finding missing sides of a triangle, as we saw earlier. But what if we want to find a missing angle? Say we have the situation on the left. If we follow the same thought process as before, we'd end up with something like this. So what do we do now? Never fear, the inverse trigonometric functions have come to the rescue. Wait, so how do these inverse trigonometric functions work exactly? You can just think about them as undoing what the regular trigonometric functions do. They find the angle given the ratio of the corresponding 2 sides. We denote inverse trigonometric functions with the superscript -1 after the function name, as follows. And we can finally solve the problem on the left. If we plug this expression into a calculator, we find that our angle theta is 64.62 degrees to 4 significant figures. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, favorite and subscribe.